Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ever Adapted Podcast. I'm your host, Becky Flowers, along with my co-host here, Sarah Budson.
What's up, guys? Welcome to season 3.
Season 3, I forgot about that.
And
And
it's almost Becky's birthday. This will release after the fact, but
yep, it'll be my birthday on Monday, so you'll hear this on Wednesday. But you can still tell me happy birthday. I'll take it.
happy birthday, Becky. Oh my gosh, my microphone is all the way over here. Okay, can you hear me better
Oh, I
now?
don't even have one. I am like bare bones today.
I don't think it's such a shit show. It's like,
It's fine. It's fine. We will, you know what? I feel like this is part of our topic, what I almost said, but like we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna figure out our stuff eventually. Um,
with that.
with that, we wanted to talk about the idea of being on and off your plan, or where I know that 99% of you have said before, oh, I need to get back on my stuff, or I'm so off my stuff.
Yeah, or like I fell off the wagon. It's time to get back on. Like, okay, well, for one, what are you waiting for? But
Exactly. What are you waiting for? And
it's just a matter of what are you prioritizing truly? Because literally with us, right? Like we are not prioritizing this. Clear as day, we're not.
no, no, but I
And
feel
that's on
like
us.
it is on us, and there are going to be ebbs and flows with everything. So you're not going to be super structured all the time, but you also can have the blueprint of what you are doing to lead your way when you have to focus on other things.
Which is what we do, right? We make sure that we schedule ourselves. I mean, full transparency, guys. Like literally, we hopped on. We're like, so what are we talking about today?
So bad. We used to be so good.
I know, but we didn't waver, right? You have your shit going on. I have my shit going on. Like this week has been an utter frickin' disaster. And like we still made the time to stay accountable with this because we're like, okay, well, we don't even know what we're talking about, but we need to show up and we need to just do the work
Yeah.
because we know once we waver on that and it becomes a back burner thing, then we're gonna slide.
I think that's such a good point because as soon as you let those little habits slide, it's so hard to get back to them. So you kind of are like falling off the wagon. And if you just keep it in your head where you have that like bare bones routine where you don't fall off the wagon, you're not going to feel like that. This
Yeah,
is just your
no.
life.
Right, exactly. This can go in so many different ways, right? Like you and I have talked about like with our faith practices, right?
Mhm.
Things like that. Our morning routines, journaling, like our fitness routines, everything, like our morning walks. Once
Everything.
you once you allow yourself to slide, it is so easy to just let it be a back burner thing and not prioritize it. Where it's like if you have these concrete things in place and these are just habits that you build into your day, your non-negotiables that you have to do, that you have to continuously show up for, you're not going to have that, a month down the line and be like, well, I've been slacking for the last month and now it's time to get back to it, right? Like
Yeah.
just keep that consistency going and maybe it is a little bit less effort, but you still continue to show up because now it's not going to rock you when you have to restart a routine and rebuild in a routine to whatever chaos life throws at you because chaos is always going to be thrown at us.
That is such a good point where it really is rebuilding that routine, but you are in now this more chaotic point because you probably aren't really doing great mentally. So then you're going to let everything else slide. And now you have to figure out how you're going to get back to these habits that you were so good with before and how they're going to fit into just like this tornado that you created yourself versus just continuing to do what you were doing, scaling back what you need to. Maybe it looks a little bit different. Maybe your morning routine goes from an hour to 10 minutes, and that's okay, but it's still a morning routine.
Yeah, yeah. And those things are they're they're your blueprint. They're your bare bones. They're your structure to lean on. And that will keep you headed in the right direction so that you're not falling off or, in morning routine, like, or in a morning routine situation, like sleeping in and now, oh, you're snoozing your alarm, you're rushing to work, you're late, you're all frazzled because you're not on a structure, you're not in your routine, you're, a million different places where that's all it could take is, that one morning be like, wow, this felt really great to, get a little bit of extra sleep. And it's like, shh, I feel it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I
It's
still
just,
have so many other things that I need to make sure that are prioritized in my life that can't waver, that must get done. And I know once I slide, like that's going to pour over into all those other areas.
yeah. Yeah. It's almost like that analogy of when you let in the dirty water, it doesn't, like the clean water doesn't disperse it. It just gets dirtier and dirtier. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say something and I completely forgot. I don't remember.
I wanted to kind of relate this to like one of my clients I was just telling you about before we started recording is, it was the same situation, same
Mhm.
exact situation. She had some life circumstances happen. She had to travel out of country. Completely understandable, right? Do what you need to do for you and your family when it comes to important things. But like once she was back and like capable of being back in her routine, she just kind of she didn't show back up. And I'm not the coach that's going to chase you for your check-ins, but I know what this girl's capable of. And so I just kind of like love tapped her a couple times. I was just like, hey, what's going on? And she reached out and she was like full transparent with me. And it was just like, I kind of fell off. Like I know that I need to get back to it. And I was like, let's hop on a call and just have a conversation just so that we're on the same page. And it's not like I'm gonna, make her feel bad or,
Yeah, Punisher.
right. No, no. It's like, listen, we have these things that happen. And there's some things that are out of our control and some things that are in our control. But what's in your control now? You're back, right? Prioritize what you need to prioritize. It's like
Mhm.
you paid X amount of weeks, show up. And it's just those simple daily practices of you wake up in the morning, weigh yourself, and just, can you hear Toby? He's screaming.
I heard him one time.
Would you stop
Now I
it?
hear him.
Stop. Unnecessary. This is what he does. Um, but it's just get in those practices of what you need to do daily to show up, do your cardio, do your training.
I think when you have that realization that, oh, I'm not showing up for what I know is going to make me feel better, or I feel off, like right in that moment, start with one thing. Don't wait till Monday. Or that's my biggest. I hate when people are like, I'm going to wait till Monday. I'm going to do this on Monday. Just do something right now. You have another meal coming up. Choose a meal. Choose one of your
Yeah,
meals.
yeah.
Get some sleep. Go to bed earlier.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that was the thing. I was like, I don't even remember. It was a Tuesday. And I was like, weigh yourself tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
Like, this is starting now, right? Like, let's get
Yeah.
back to it. And she's like, I know. I always know that I feel so much better when I'm on and everything like that. The next morning, she posted on her story that she was training and I replied and I was like, there she is. And she's like, I already feel so much better. And I'm like, see?
Good. Good for
Good.
her.
So it's just sometimes people need a little love kick in the butt.
Yep. Yep. Just that
Um,
little kick.
right. But that's just such a prime example of, it's like she allowed herself to, once she got back, not pick back up on her routines and what she had already built in place, those just regular things that she already built into her days. And it's so easy to slide off where, if you keep those up and keep this expectation of yourself where you have to show up, it's not going to be such an issue and a complete reset.
It's so true. And I think what you said there is key, where you said those expectations that you have of yourself. A lot of times we'll do something, or I think when people come into fitness, they do it a lot for their coach or they want to show up for other people. But if you're just showing up for yourself, you are going to hold yourself to a higher standard than you would have in the past. And then you're going to continue with those habits that are keeping you there. And when you do have moments where you don't want to show up, you might not show up, but I'm going to tell you it's going to be a lot sooner that you have that rebound rate versus when you were just doing it for everyone else.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to reiterate one of the points that you said is when people do it for their coach. That is, and I was guilty of this for
Same.
years, right? And it becomes this, well, I don't want to disappoint you. Don't do it for me. Do it for you. Why did you start this in the first place, right? Why did you begin this in the first place? You wanted to better yourself. You're not doing it for me. Of course, I want to see you succeed, and I'm helping you with the blueprint and the roadmap to do that. And I'm giving you the resources to be able to do that. But don't do it for me. And it's like when you're an athlete and you're in that state, especially in a competitive athlete state of mind where you're like, man, like I want to get first call outs for my coach because like, it's like this
Then I'm
is
worthy.
yeah, it becomes a very weird rooted thing, right? It
Mhm.
can get really deep and it's like you got to reel it in and realize why did you start this in the first place?
Yeah.
Because this is 100% for you. You don't need to impress anyone. This is for you. Show up
Mhm.
for you. Better yourself for you.
I wish we could just say that 1,000 times. Like it is for you. And I think something you can do is in your notes phone or in your notes app, just write like why you are doing it and do it before you even decide to go with a coach. That way, then you're not swayed of, oh, okay, my coach really likes this, so I'm going to put this down. Why are you doing this? Is it for your kids? Is it for your health? Do you want to get on stage because you want to push yourself? Like, what are you doing this for?
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's really, really important because that was me for a very long time. It starts to become not about you anymore.
Mhm.
You can easily get swayed of going in a different direction or a different division or whatever the case may be. And it's like, yeah, there has to be, that outsider perspective that you have to, be able to take and you have to be coachable. But the root of it, why do you want to do this? It
Yeah.
starts with you. So same thing for when you're falling off, you're letting yourself down. Hold that expectation for yourself to continue to show up, to continue to better yourself for you.
One thing I always go back to is from Andy Frisella. He says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that will haunt you when you let yourself like really ruminate on that. Like it will haunt you and you won't be able to let yourself go months and months without doing your shit. You're
Yep.
going to be maybe a day or two, and that's okay. But then you're right back.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's very important because it's so true. Like literally how you do one thing is how you do everything. How are you showing up?
Mhm. Yeah, it'll change everything for you
Mhm.
in a positive or a negative, whichever way you
Right.
go.
Whatever way you choose.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's all I got.
me too. That was really good.
Yeah.
That was good and short.
Happy beginning of season 3. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. We appreciate it. We do have a lot lined up for this season. We got some work to do on it. So
We're going, but it'll
we're
be
still
here.
showing up. We're not taking a break because we can't.
Exactly. Exactly. So thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.